Hello again and welcome to another Mordian Mondays. This is episode 36. So I know, guys, that there wasn't a Mordian Mondays last week. Apologies, I ended up overrunning a little bit on the veteran squad, but it's completed now and it is looking very spiffing, if I do say so myself. So I put a lot of care and attention into this unit because I'm only really going to be running 3 veteran squads, so I might as well make them look a little bit spicier. And so I actually use a huge combination of parts for this squad. So I had the classic metal models of Colonel Schaffer and the classic plasma gunner, which are both pretty unique. And then I combined that with parts from the Cadian Command Squad box and the regular Cadian box and the Snapfit models, and to create a huge variety of sort of bodies and posable movements. And then, obviously, I swapped some heads out for the parade caps. Been doing that on a lot of the models. But then I also used the Scion Beret heads. Now, I've been sitting on a lot of Scion Beret heads for a while because, like most people, I built my Scions with the proper protective headgear, the helmets. And so I just was sitting, and each box of Scions comes with 10 Beret heads, and I hadn't used any of them. So I was sitting on 40, 50 of these things, and I thought, you know what, I want to trim my bits down. I can save a little bit of money. I can see how it works and pass that information on to you guys. Put a bit of variety into the squad, and the result is that it looks really, really good. And I can say confidently that if anyone was thinking of using Scion Beret heads on their guardsmen, do it. Don't hesitate. Just do it. You can pick them up for cheap because no one ever uses them. Any friend that you know that's got Scions, I almost guarantee you he built them with the helmets. Get his Beret heads off. They're only as difficult to convert as the Anvil Industry, so they've got the long neck. Just trim that neck down, smooth the bit where it goes in the model, cut the neck protection off at the back of the model, glue that head straight on, and you have a fantastic variety of models in that squad. And so you can see what works really well, and what I've really been pioneering, well, not necessarily pioneering, but championing with the Great Mordian Restoration Project is all the models looking the same but different. So they've all got the same paint scheme, no matter what headgear, it's always the same colour. So I know there was I had a Catachan in one of my squads a while back who had a green headband instead of a red headband. But the point is that you can use a variety of headgear, but if you start using a variety of colours on the headgear, for example, then your models and your army starts looking very disjointed, very patchwork, and it doesn't look like a cohesive force. Whereas if you use a variety of headgear, but keep the paint scheme consistent, so in this case it's got a bit of green, got a bit of blue, got a bit of gold. That's the thing for every bit of headgear in the army. You can really use a variety of styles of headgear and still keep cohesiveness not only within the squad, but within the army as a whole. So I've got the big officer style parade caps from Anvil Industries in here. I've got the regular style parade caps. Colonel Schaffer model is wearing a ski hat. I've got a guy wearing a cane helmet, and I've got 3 different sort of Scion Beret designs in there as well. And yet the squad looks uniform. The squad looks like it's a squad, like it's a unit, like they all belong together. It doesn't look like 3 different armies mashed into one unit. So that's something that would be my advice and me passing my technique on to you guys, which is use all the different headgear you want, but make sure you're painting them all the same. Because if you paint them differently, it'll look weird. It will look out of place. So with this second squad of veterans completed, this also marks the completion of second platoon, guys. The second full platoon of guardsmen is completed. And that is a big, big milestone because that means I can now field 2,000 points of Mordian 50th Rifles, pure infantry, restored completely. It's glorious work for the Emperor, glorious indeed. Now, I will caveat that by saying there was a little bit of extra work to do on first platoon because they were the early days. I didn't do my edge highlighting or my dry brushing. I didn't fill in the bases with milliput, so I've got to go back and do that on those models. But that's the relatively small job in comparison to fully painting them. So the plan is by the end of April, I am going to get the first platoon fully up to speed. That's what I'm going to do. They're going to all get brought at the same standard as the second platoon, and then we will truly have 2 full platoons fully painted. Now, my 2,000 point list is currently standing at this. I am looking at taking. So yeah, I'm looking at taking 2 company commanders, 2 platoon commanders, 2 Lord Commissars, 2 Minister and Priests, 4 characters per platoon. I'm going to take 1 squad of plasma veterans. Each squad of plasma veterans is going to have 3 plasma guns, plasma pistol, and a power sword. So 1 of those for each platoon, so that's 2 in total. 6 infantry squads, 9 of those kitted out for assault, 3 of those kitted out for fire support. Backing them up is 2 squads of mortars. The final cherry on top, we're going to take a detachment of scions, which are the assault corps. That's my fluff for my regiment, and they are going to be they're going to be dropping in. I've got 4 squads of them, and I have 2 Tempesta primes. That's current 2,000 point list. There might be a little bit of wiggle room around that, but that is it, guys. So exciting. We're looking at it's 197 models. And shouldn't forget, I've got a full squad of 9 Bulgrins and a squad of 6 Ogrins. So that's a lot of that's a lot of meat for the army. That's lots of slabs of muscle. So that adds some real punch. So that's 197 models, but many 15 of them are packing 3 rooms each and a toughness 5. That's a big deal. But I talked about that in a bit more detail last week, so I'm not going to repeat myself here. But that is essentially the army that we're going to start seeing in battle reports coming up. So it's going to look awesome, guys. Hope you're really, really excited, looking forward to it. So tactically speaking, obviously I'm looking at running it as a combat force. So I mentioned this last week, but I am looking at running this with Lord's Proof and Slum Fighters as a custom regiment. I think that would look really, really awesome, and hopefully we'll continue the campaign against the vile Tau forces of the Eastern Fringe, and hopefully I can get to grips with them and just start tearing them to pieces in combat. I know Tau actually weirdly struggle with Ogrins, so they're going to struggle with Ogrins and Bulgrins, guys. It's going to Trevor the Ogrin is now bringing 14 mates with him. He is not mucking about. So as a result, we're a bit of a crossroads. What do we do next? You see, there's a huge variety of paths I could take. I could build up the assault corps completely, fully paint up the full detachment of scions, 3 Tempesta primes, and all of the give them a priest and all that kind of stuff, and a Lord Commissar, an Inquisitor. I'm going to get my maid to order Demon Hunter Inquisitor painted up. I could go down that route. I could also what I could do is I've got a lot of terrain that needs painting up as well. You see, I'm kind of stunted on my terrain at the moment. I'm using the same amount each time, and it's that MDF stuff that I painted up the texture paint. It does look really good, and I'm mixing up with a bit of the GameMat.eu stuff, but I don't want to have the same terrain in every battle report. And I am sat on quite a large quantity of Necromunda style MDF terrain, lots of really industrial looking gantries and walkways. I've been testing a bit of that this week as well, and it does look really good. So I could paint that up. I've also been receiving. I could go straight into third platoon, and I've received. I want to take a moment now to say a huge thank you to my supporters, because recently I've been semi inundated with models that have been donated to the cause. So I've had a las cannon team. A really cool, unique las cannon team that was actually sent to me months ago that I still haven't got around to painting up. It looks really, really, really good. I've got that was sent by a supporter all the way from Ukraine and Poland, and I really I've said thank you over Messenger, but I really should get that painted up and and brought into my army as quickly as possible, but I haven't done. You know, because I've been so focused on getting second platoon finished. I've also had one of my supporters, Mr. Jack, sent me 2 unique models. I believe they're using heads for maybe Mad Robot Miniatures. One of them is a female guardsman, which looks absolutely awesome. And these are painted up in the style of the Mordian 50th, and they look really good. I want to get them. You know, they need touching up a little bit, but nothing really. And I want to use them. I want to say thank you, Mr. Jack. Those models are awesome. I know I've left it in the comments in a previous video, but I want to take the time to say thank you to you now in these videos. Another supporter who didn't leave me their name, unfortunately, sent me one of the old school classic Scion models that I love, and he sent me one of the really rare sergeants who's got the katana. And he's got the katana, and I really, you know, I want to, you know, apologies you didn't leave a note with it, but I just want to say, you know, thank you for sending that model. And you know, another one of the supporters, Mr. Guardian Varney, sent me basically the half a Krieg army. I kid you not. You know, just want to say a huge thank you. Because I've said at the beginning of the year I really wanted to get into the Krieg, and now I have no excuse not to, because I've got the better part of a couple of platoons of Kriegsmen that I need to get through. I just want to say, you know, huge thank you for your support. I know you've been one of my most, you know, generous Patreon supporters and everything. So, you know, it is very humbling. But, you know, receiving massive bundles of models, or even receiving just a single model, it's all hugely appreciated, and I am extremely lucky. You know, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I just want to do a moment of real talk with you guys. I am extremely lucky with the amount of support that I get from my Patreons, and from my subscribers, and from the supporters in general. I don't take any of it for granted. I don't say thank you to all my supporters every video. I tend to feel like that cheapens it. So I say it every so often, and I really mean it. I never thought I'd get any support for this channel, really. And it's really, really exciting and motivating and humbling to have people around the channel who are so passionate about the hobby, and as passionate about the Guard as I am, because I sometimes forget that it's all made up, you know. It's all, you know, it's not, sometimes forget 40k is not real. I'm so into it, and it's so lovely to have, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word. It is absolutely lovely to have people who are as passionate about this hobby as I am, and I just want to say I am truly grateful, truly 100. I can't say it without, you know. I am really grateful for the support that I get from my Patreons, for the people that send me models, from the people that leave comments every video. They're just the dedicated guys that watch every video and like every video and comment. You know, I'm really lucky to have this really interactive community, and I try and answer every comment that I can. I think I answer the vast majority of them, and that's just a small way of giving back. And I just wanted to take the time, you know, with the Great Mordian Restoration Project, it would not have been possible without all the support from everyone in the channel. Not just the financial support from Patreon, which has made this a reality. I could not have done it without it. Simply couldn't afford to do it. And the motivating and the models that have been sent in to me to help me to make up some gaps in the army, and to help me field really interesting looking squads. You know, I couldn't. There's some models I've got which I would never be able to get. They're totally unique, and people have sent them in to me, like that Las Cannon team. But yeah, and but even just the people that have given me painting advice in the comments. I mean, look at go back and watch some of the early Mordian Mondays videos. You know, the models are good. The models are okay, but the difference between then and now is night and day, light and dark. And it's not. Yes, I've done the painting, but I didn't know about those techniques. I didn't do the techniques, and I wouldn't have done any of the edge highlighting or the dry brushing or filling in the gaps at the base of the middle. I flat out would not have done that if it hadn't been from advice from you guys, pointing things out and giving me loads of really, really positive feedback. So I am extremely lucky to have supporters of all levels and people who around me who are extremely passionate, and it really does motivate me. It really does, and that's why I like to do these. My favourite video, even though Mordian Mondays tend to get the least views, they are my favourite videos because they are the ones that I get to interact with my supporters the most on. I absolutely love it. So thank you. So as I was saying before I went off on a, I just want to say that one more time. Actually, no, don't want to rush it. I just want to say thank you, heartfelt, genuine. Thank you. You know, you guys are awesome. Like I said, I don't say this every video. I don't want to cheapen it. And when I do say it, I really mean it. So thanks, guys. You guys are awesome, genuinely. So with all that, I've got a lot of options I can take, and I think, and I'd love to get your guys' feedback on this. Which route do you think I should do? Should I go down the assault corps? Maybe get some more terrain painted up for the channel. That Necromunda stuff could be cool. Or launch myself straight into 3rd Platoon. Or do a little bit of everything and just don't be so narrowed. I think what I'm going to do regarding, I really want to get the Krieg army up and running. After receiving such a generous gift, I do want to get the Krieg army up and running. So you know what I think I'm going to do, guys? I had originally planned to go to loads of tournaments and events this year. And unfortunately, genuine real world stuff is preventing me, and quite frankly, guys, it's that bloody virus that's going around. The last 2 tournaments that I was scheduled to go to have been cancelled, and if it continues the way it's going, the next 2 that I had planned to go to are going to be cancelled as well. So all the Patreon money that I'd earmarked to go to these things for travel, for hotels, for the events themselves, and all that stuff that I'm only really able to do thanks to the Patreon support, all that money's kind of freed up now. Everything that was earmarked was freed up. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to keep working on the Great Mordian Restoration Project and the terrain. And I'm also going to get those Kriegers commission painted. I'm going to get them commission painted in the same colours as my Steel Legion. And all the gas mask boys can fight together. And it'll be a really cool looking army of World War I Krieg infantry, World War II Fallschirmjäger Steel Legion, and a mixture of styles in the Lehman Rusters. I think that'd be really cool. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that would be cool? Do you want to see that? You can have almost 2 armies coming along side by side. I think that would work really, really well. And there's a couple of people that I know locally that do commission painting, and I think they could do a really good job. And I can focus on the love that I have for the Mordians, whilst also showing proper reverence and appreciation for the models that I've been sent in. So let me know what you guys think. If you think that's sort of appropriate, that's okay. That'd be really awesome. If you've got any other suggestions that you want to see next, do you want to see terrain next? Do you want to see classic metal Stormies? Or do you just want to keep seeing more of them Mordian infantry squads getting painted up? You let me know what you think's best. And I will listen to the will of the people, which is very un-Imperium, but I will do it for you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave lots of comments down below. Give me lots of your ideas. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.